This is a Mertapini that follows. That is to say, the death-formed initiation. Why is it called the death-formed initiation? Well, usually because during the sacrifice step, when people do the atonement, they usually undergo a symbolic, sometimes not symbolic, but very brief induced artificial death, which they come back from because they achieve massive Mertopini Artha, or death formed true sight. Now, am I saying you have to do anything that extreme? No. No, actually, you don't. A good example of this is seen actually in the movie of Constantine, um, where Rachel Weisz's character has a brief death. Go through basically that's effectively a Mertapini that follows. It's a death formed initiation. Now it's one where she came back, obviously, because that's kind of that's part of how the movie was. But another example of Mertapini that follows, where they die, but and don't actually come back as an alive person, but they still come back because they're the main character of the movie is the Crow. Both of them. Now, yes, they died. But from a certain perspective, death is its own form of initiation. Because a lot of times people undergo symbolic deaths in order to, move on with a period of their life that they're no longer a part of. They'll burn all the ex-girlfriend boyfriend's clothes or stuff. They'll completely demolish a section of falling apart fence and build a new one. It's seeing that death actually has a purpose is a large part of it. That is a large part of it. It just is. But it also has a lot to do with the nature of the beautiful lie, and has a lot to do with the nature of, honestly, all kinds of necromancy when it comes right down to it. Because, I mean, it's Mertapinitona. I mean, there's the thing is, you can't really, no one really doesn't consider necromancy black magic after a fashion. I mean, there are some people who do, but who don't consider it black magic, but they're kind of few and far between. I mean, if you play Diablo 2, you know that one of the main characters is literally a necromancer who's a demon hunter, and that's his deal. That's his deal. He works with the spirits to make sure they're tormented less. That's what he does. And ideally, in my opinion, that's what most necromancers should do. But still, necromancers shouldn't go around tormenting spirits unless those spirits go out of their way to torment them. So what is the operative part of this? Well, when this happens, a number of things can happen. Pari you can be reborn. It's pretty common, actually. Pretty typically, when you're going through the initiation, you vikarayati. You move hither and thither. But in my opinion, the best situation that comes with this is, oh yeah, you also can get delivered over, which is essentially you dying without you actually dying. Like, you get delivered over when you die. You just do. But there are other contexts of being delivered over, like a package, where obviously, like, the package doesn't die. And it's it's sort of like, for the sake of argument, you get handed to a Reaper as a package to deliver, without you actually dying because you're a package instead of a human. Like, it's kind of like that. However, this has also a lot to do with Chaya Karman, or shadow work. Because a lot of times you can't actually get to this spot unless you've done, like, the atonement, which requires non-dishonest inward reflection. Oh my. Shadow work, looking at the shadows within yourself to see which of them are of you and which ones are not, casting away which is not of you, and seeking to explore and understand that which is. Yes, this seems like it might make sense somehow. So, ideally, Samakarati and Babakarati, Pindikarati, Vichayayati, Prasadayati, Dexayati. Associate with insinuate, identify with free with shadow. Resolve to order, to initiate. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe.